Hey guys, it's Carla. Welcome back to the closet for my braiding tutorial. I know you're thinking, what could I possibly have to add to the braiding conversation, because there are literally like a gazillion braiding tutorials and we all know how to braid, but I do have something to add and you need it, because if you're watching a braiding tutorial right now, then the simple explanation of what is a French braid and what is a Dutch braid and how do you do it isn't working for you. And like, I feel your pain. I completely understand the frustration of like, your hands are in the back of your head and you can't see them and you don't remember what piece is in what finger in your hand and you don't know where it's supposed to go next, and then it gets tangled and like your arms are falling asleep, and then if you do use a mirror then the depth is backwards because you're looking at it backwards, and it's just like, it's a bad time. Like, I understand why so many people are like, my hands are stupid, I can't braid, it'll never happen. But it will happen. You can do it. If you can do this with your fingers, then you can do it. And I'm going to show you how right now, and it might seem like I'm really overcomplicating things at first, but I think that it will really help to have a very systematic breakdown of like the components of a braid, the structure of it, how it works, so that you can like have a system where you know what's in your hand and you know where it's going next. And then if you need to stop with your hand and take a drink of water and, you know, let your arm rest for a second, you know where you're at and you can continue. So let me just go first with a really simple explanation of what even is a braid. As we all know, you've got your three pieces and the side goes over the middle, and that's the whole thing. Just each side goes over the middle, and that's how you braid. But let's talk about the role of each of these pieces. So you've got your side piece that's gonna cross over the middle, and you've got the middle that's getting crossed, and then the other side piece is just waiting. It's just not doing anything. So there is a cycle that happens when you do a stitch. All of the pieces change roles, right? So first, my side piece, which I'll call the new piece, and that's because when you're adding hair, you add your new hair to the piece that's doing the crossing, right? So that goes over, center piece now is in the side. So your new piece becomes the new center. Your center piece is now off on the side just chillin', and your chillin' piece from before is the new piece, right? So this is the cycle. Now the new piece is in the center, the one that was the center is now on the side chillin', and the one that was chillin' is the next cross, yeah? And of course, if you want to do a Dutch braid, then you go under instead of over. So now that you know that cycle, we're going to relate it to this that I did earlier, because there are three pieces, there are three roles, and every stitch that you do, they switch roles. So in here, this is where the chillin' piece goes. That just needs to be out of the way. That's going to go in the pinky. Then you've got these two spots in your fingers, and depending on a French braid or a Dutch braid, either way, there's one chillin' piece, and then you've got your over-under situation. Whichever's the center, whichever's the outside, the hand position's going to be the same because it's over and under. So then it just depends on whether the new piece is going here for a French braid or if the new piece is going here for a Dutch braid. So let's get to it. Basically, the whole thing is you put them in their positions, and then you grab your new hair, and as you switch from one hand to the other, they all change positions. But the positions, like where they are in your fingers, are consistent. So then you can stop, do what you need to do, feel what's in your hand, and you know what it is and where it goes next. So I'm going to start with a Dutch braid. First of all, Dutch braids are just kind of more popular right now because you can really make them pop on your head. They're also a little more versatile when it comes to like a crown braid. That's usually a Dutch braid, or like cornrows or Dutch braids, stuff like that. But also it is easier to actually physically do a Dutch braid just because the new piece is coming from your scalp, because that's where your hair grows out of. And so then it makes it easier if you're putting it in the lower position because it's still close to your scalp. So there's just less movement of the hair going on, and it'll be a little less confusing. So let me check. So we're going to start out. I'm just going to take nice chunky sections I definitely recommend when you're learning how to do this, just take big sections, because then you will do fewer stitches to get to the bottom of your braid and you will have a victory. And it's important to have a victory when you're learning something. So I've got my 3 pieces. I'm going to start right off the bat. This side piece is going to go into my pinky like this. And pretty much any time I'm putting something in my pinky, like, it's kind of hard to just grab it with your pinky. So I'll kind of get it in my whole fist and then just drop everything except for the pinky. Now the centerpiece, because we're doing a Dutch braid, center's on top. So that's going to go here in my scissor fingers. And then the new piece is going to go on the bottom, tucking into my thumb. Now, you're not going to add hair until you do a couple stitches, right? So I'm just going to show you the switch. So the center piece is going to become the chillin piece. So I'm going to take that from the top and put it in my pinkies. The middle piece is this is the new middle piece. It was the new piece. So now it's in the middle and that goes on top. The chillin piece is now the new crossing piece. So that's going to go in the under position. So same thing. The center is going to become the chillin piece. So I'm going to take that from the top and put it in my pinky. Now the one in the center goes in the top, because that's where the center is in a Dutch braid. And then the new crossing piece goes in the bottom. And once it's all there, then I add my hair. So it's much easier to do the stitch, then add your hair. So I'm just going to take a nice chunk. And this is why it's easier, because I'm right here. I just put it in the thumb and kind of dangle it off the thumb. And I can take my time smoothing everything out and making sure it's all separate. And I know who is who. So let's do that again. My piece that's in the center here, that's gonna chill. My piece that I just added to, that's the new center. So that's gonna go on top. And my chillin piece is the new crossing piece, to which we add more hair. I'm just gonna drape it over my thumb here and take my time and smooth it out. And this way you can avoid having any tangles, because that is just the most frustrating thing when you're trying to braid. So once again, this is going to be the last time I explain it, and otherwise I'll just do the rest of my head nice and slow so you can see the hand motion, follow along. So my piece that's been in the center, it's at the top, that's going to go in my pinky to chill. And then this one that I just added to, that's the new center, so that goes on top in my scissor fingers. This one that's chillin', that's the new crossing piece, so that crosses under into my thumb, and we add more hair. And there it is. It's just the same old thing, and then of course you would just braid it regular all the way down your hair. So now let's get into the French braid. So the French braid, of course, the only thing that's going to change is that instead of this being the center, this is the center, and your new pieces are going to go here. The only difficulty of that is that it's kind of, I don't know, you'll see. It's kind of difficult to get them into your pinky fingers, just because your center is beneath, so you need to take the hair from beneath to put in your chillin position. But it's not that bad, I'll show you. So I've got my 3 sections. As always, I'm just going to start with my piece that's just chillin'. Now my center is going to be in my thumbs, because the new piece needs to come over, right? And so now this is why I'm saying it's a little bit more difficult, because now this piece that's in my thumb here needs to go in my pinky. So I'm just going to get it out of there with my fingers and put it in a fist, and now it's just in my pinky, right? So I'm kind of just using my thumb to get it out of there and then take it in my fist. Now this one that's has been crossed over, now this is the new center, so that goes in my thumb. Now my chillin' piece is the new guy that goes over. So once again, the one that's in my thumb here, and I know I've got this one dangling out, but because I've got my fingers here separating them, it's okay to let it dangle in your thumb. So this one, gonna go in my fist. This one's in the center, so he goes underneath. This is the new guy, so it goes on top. And now we add some hair. Alright, here we go again. Just gonna steal this one from here, put in my pinky. This guy's now the center, so it goes in my thumb. This guy's the new crosser, and that goes on top. And we add some hair. Alright, I'll explain it one more time and then I'm just going to do it so you can watch. So I've got the center piece that's in my thumb here. Just going to separate it from the chillin' piece with my pinky fingers here, sectioning them off. And then the chillin' piece is in my pinky and the new piece goes in my thumb. And this guy on top in my scissor fingers. And we add some hair. Now, of course, because this is a French braid, I'm adding my hair to the scissor fingers instead of to the thumb. And now I can just braid away. So that's it, guys. I hope that was helpful to you. Even if you already know how to French and Dutch braid and you don't really need help doing it on its own, it is very useful to have something so systematic when you start doing more complicated braids. So for example, a 4-strand braid, if you want to do like a French 4-strand braid, that's a whole situation. But it's really good to be able to just like, okay, I'm adding one more position in my fingers. As long as you know where that is, then you can have a system for that too. Or like if you want to do one of the upside down braids that goes from your neck up to your bun, right? That's a whole situation, having a braid upside down and like change your perspective for that. So it's still good to have that system of like, I know it's in my fingers, I can trust the system. Same for like a crown braid, and I am going to make a very detailed video on crown braid, don't worry. But like a crown braid is a Dutch braid that starts right here and it goes all the way around, and so at some point like you have to switch hands to do the rest of it. So that's a whole situation, having to switch hands and remember what you're holding, and then you have to do the last part upside down, and it's just like, if you don't have a system, it's gonna be bad. But if you do, then it's honestly not that hard. And so you might be someone who has never been able to French braid before, and then give it a couple weeks and you could do a crown braid. So I really hope that that is able to happen for you. I hope that I didn't overwhelm you with the systematic breakdown, and that it actually helps you give your arms a break and give your soul a break from not being able to do something that your, 8-year-old cousin can do. Yeah, I had that experience. I've been frustrated with braids too, and there will be more to come. I have a lot to say about braids. I'll see you there.